Hey, is Toyota intentionally endangering new Tacoma owners due to the recent fuel pump recall? Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, a few days ago, I put out a video on a recall notice right here that I had received from Toyota involving the 2018 Toyota Tacoma. Now, I say 2018 because that's the one I had before my 2020 here. So they went ahead and sent me the recall notice, of course, not knowing that I don't have the 2018 anymore. And what that recall is, and it's really, they call it a safety recall notice. You can see right there, interim notice. And what it involves is the fuel pump. And it states that the fuel pump can cause the vehicle to stall or not start at all. And the interim notice part of this is because they don't have a remedy for it. They don't have a fix. Now, I have heard that the fix is supposed to be coming out or available sometime in September. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. But the troubling part of this is that if the vehicle were to stall while you were driving, which they've stated it can, say like on a freeway while you're cruising along at 80 mile an hour, you could lose control. There could be an accident, potentially even injury. I mean, could you imagine you're driving down the freeway at 80 mile an hour and the truck shuts off? You would lose your power steering. You would lose your power brakes. And who knows how you would react when that happened, especially if it was in a turn or maybe in some kind of a defensive maneuver, because who knows what's going on in any given traffic environment. And there could be a problem. So I had a lot of comments on that video, and a couple people suggested to me that the 2020s might have that problem as well. And the reason behind that is because if they don't, it means that Toyota has a remedy already, in other words, a good fuel pump that doesn't have this problem, which doesn't seem to be true since Toyota says they don't have a remedy yet. This is an interim notice, and there'll be more information once they develop a fix for the problem. So it would only make sense to me then that Toyota has put this same fuel pump in my truck, or potentially I have this same fuel pump in my truck that could stall out, cause a stall out, and cause me to have a problem. But even more troubling to me is that Toyota is continuing to sell brand new Tacomas. You know, are they endangering new Tacoma owners due to the fuel pump recall? I mean, if they're continuing to sell new Tacomas, I mean, they sold me this Tacoma, and they have bad fuel pumps in them, then Toyota is indeed selling a truck that they know could cause a problem. Now, some would argue that, well, it's not really an issue. There's always trucks out there that are vehicles, you know, that have problems or whatever. And I agree with that. I mean, you don't know there's a problem until there is a problem. So that group of Tacomas that was sold prior to Toyota becoming aware of the problem are obviously out there on the road and waiting for this recall. But since Toyota has admitted in this recall that they know there is a problem and seemingly there isn't a remedy for this yet, or so they've stated themselves, my truck must have one in it, and they're continuing to sell trucks that do. So I don't know why, or I don't understand why, if that's an incorrect assumption, and that if Toyota does have a fuel pump that doesn't have this issue, why they haven't tapped that supply to go ahead and fix the Tacomas that they know do have a problem, even if they had to stop production on their new Tacomas. Because I would think Toyota would be opening itself up to a myriad of potential problems if something was to happen from the point that they issued or admitted that there was a problem up until they're able to fix them. In other words, if somebody buys a new truck today and they take it out on the freeway tomorrow and it stalls and it causes a devastating crash with injury, I would think Toyota would be liable. Especially if they do have a good fuel pump. For instance, if my 2020 has a good fuel pump in it, and they haven't gone ahead and used that supply to fix the ones out there that are faulty. Because in essence, they would have known that there was a problem, have had a remedy. Now, they'd have to stop production probably because that mass of fuel pumps that they have would then be used on a recall supply. But still, doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? What do you guys think? I'm curious. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Does this kind of thing concern you at all? Should Toyota continue to sell brand new Tacomas, knowing that there is a problem if indeed the trucks they're selling do have these faulty fuel pumps? You know, it kind of reminds me, not too long ago, Jeep had a problem with a drive shaft component, differential, something like that, pressure plate. I believe it was a pressure plate in the transmission. Oh, they have that now. It was actually a drive shaft problem where they were dry. They didn't grease them. And the things could heat up and potentially explode, causing an accident to the Jeep owner themselves, the driver of the Jeep, and maybe someone else who happens to get hit by that flying debris. So they put a stop sale in place. In other words, none of the dealerships could sell Jeeps anymore. They sat there and had to sit there on the lot until Toyota could fix them. And that makes sense to me. Why wouldn't they? I mean, if there's a devastating issue, why wouldn't Toyota go ahead and put a stop sale on until they have a fix for this fuel pump? And if they do have a fix already in the form of the new ones that they're putting in their new trucks, why aren't they using those? I don't understand. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Real quick, shameless plug for my other channel. If you haven't, and you'd like to, check out my Jeep Gladiator channel. It is RobMotion. All about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.